This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. Tributes have poured in from across the globe for 19-year-old Shaban Al-Dalou, a software engineering student who burned to death after Israel bombed Gaza's Al-Aqsa hospital in central Deir al-Balah early Monday morning. The bombing set off a massive fire in an area packed with makeshift tents housing displaced Palestinians who'd sought safety at the hospital, including Shaban's family. He was an engineering student at Gaza's Al-Azhar University who just started his studies in September of last year. He built the tent shelter his family was living in when Israel bombed them. Photographs and footage of his final moments shocked millions around the world as Shaban laid in a hospital bed with an IV attached to his arm as the flames engulfed him. This is a video of Shaban Al-Dalou, in his own words, posted as part of a fundraising campaign to evacuate him from Gaza with his family.
From the tent where we reside, I'm Shaban Ahmad, 19 years old. I'm a student studying software engineer. In this barbaric starvation war, we have displaced 5 times so far. Now we are in Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in the middle of Gaza, Deir al-Balah. I'm taking care of my family as I'm the oldest. I have 2 sisters and 2 little brothers and my parents. We live in a very hard circumstances, suffering from various things such as homelessness and limited food and extremely limited medicine. And the only things between us and the freezing temperature is this tent that we constructed by ourselves.
Shaban was at Al-Aqsa Hospital receiving care after he survived the earlier Israeli strike. Shaban Al-Dalou would have turned 20 this week. We go now to Gaza, where we're joined by Abu Bakr Abed, a 21-year-old journalist from Deir al-Balah in Gaza. He used to be a football or soccer commentator, but now, as he says, he's an accidental war correspondent. His new report for Dropsite News is titled, Shaban Al-Dalou Burned Alive in Gaza Would Have Been 20 Today. Shaban burned alive alongside his mother, who was also killed on Monday morning. And we've just learned his little brother has succumbed to his injuries. Abu Bakr, you wrote in your piece, he was then immolated along with his mother. We couldn't identify which charred body was him, but then we searched for a gold necklace his mother used to wear. We found it on one body and knew it was her. Then we buried them in one grave. You also shared the tragic news that Shaban's youngest brother, Abdul Rahman, has succumbed to his burn wounds. He was 10 years old. Abu Bakr Abed, you were about the same age as Shaban. Talk about how you learned of his story and the importance of you writing it.
First, thank you so much for having me. But let me just start by saying that Shaban's after his youngest brother succumbed to his injuries and burns today early in the morning. Now, the other 2 sisters are facing the same fate. They are being treated here at Gaza's hospitals, which lack every basic necessity inside them. So they are on the verge of also being killed and passing away. So we're talking about an entire family that is going to be wiped out. Another family is going to be wiped off the civil record, which is incredibly harrowing. Regarding the story of Shaban, you know, I just live a few steps away from the hospital. I'm here, I'm a regional resident of Deir al-Balah, and then pre-dawn, before dawn exactly, an attack happened and I was partially awakened, as this is the norm over the course of time since this genocide has started. So when the footage and the videos really went viral on social media and everywhere, then I was just looking at the photos and the videos, and there was someone inside, engulfed by flames, being burnt alive in front of millions of people. That was, to me, something special because I could not really comprehend it. I could not really stay silent. It's my duty opportunity to honor such a memory. And particularly because when I knew for the very first time that he was going to be, or he was 19 years old, and just 2 days ago he turned 20, if he would have been alive, then I felt that this is my story, because no one else across the globe would really have done this story in the way it could. We are about the same age. As you mentioned, he memorized the Quran, I memorized the Quran, he dreamt of completing his studies. I also dream of completing my studies. And our message is very clear from here. We are young men that have nothing to do with this war. We're not a party to this war. We have no connection with Hamas, but we are very daily being subjected to sheer violence and brutality that is nothing to do with this war. It just keeps going and on and on, and without any stop. Even after the news of the killing of Hamas leader, there seems to be no stop, and which is incredibly devastating for us. What more should we really endure and go through so this war can stop? So the life of Sha'ban should be honored. I'm so proud, I'm so honored, and so privileged to have honored his memory, because he had a life once. Israel destroyed his house, reduced his university to rubble. He just started his university studies 2 years ago, and then an entire life, a university of a human, just reduced to ashes. This is the barbarity and brutality of what Israel is about.